Good morning, friends from Five Reasons. We are back here with another Marlins report. This one a little bit earlier than usual. We're waking up early to produce some content. Tonight we're going to be busy with the Miami Heat, so we wanted to get this one out there before all that frenzy starts. How are you, David? Good morning. Welcome back to our Marlins report.
Good morning, Alejandro. Yeah, it's been a while. The Marlins have been on pretty much a disaster of a road trip, and we had to jump in here early in the morning because for sure everybody's attention is going to be focused on the Miami Heat later this evening. So
Yeah,
let's get into some Marlins talk this morning.
yeah, for sure. Tonight, remember at 5:30 we have the preview in Spanish. Then at 6 we have the pregame show in English, a whole hour, and then we're doing the hangout all throughout the game. For Game 6, Miami Heat facing the Sixers, trying to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. But let's talk about baseball. Let's talk about our beloved Marlins. Yesterday, they saved that series. They were going to get double swept
Oof.
by the Diamondbacks, and it's been a roller coaster on the bad side of things because I feel like almost all of those games were so close, and they should have won most of them. This is a team that is 3 games under 500, but it feels like it should be 5 games over. How do you feel, and what are your takeaways in general from this couple of series?
Listen, I got to be honest with you. Yesterday, when Okert gave up that game tying home run, I was like,
Did you
oh.
turn it off?
I did. I turned it off, and
A
then
lot of
I
people
walked
did.
away from the TV for a minute. I mean, I eventually, obviously, went back to it,
Yeah,
but I was just like, oh, here we go again, because it seems like when the offense does something, then the pitching staff lets them down. When the pitching staff is amazing, then the offense lets them down. So it's been obviously a very frustrating run, not only for Marlins fans to watch it, but for the players, for the coaching staff. Mattingly continues to talk about how, they don't they don't have like moral victories this year. They can't lean on that stuff like they have in the past, that they need to actually get these wins. So the
yeah,
fact that during this stretch they had 7 1-run losses,
yeah,
that that's hard to explain. I mean, it they're just not getting the key hit when they need it, and then they're not getting the key out when they need it, and it just kind of snowballed on them recently. Hopefully the day off, coming home, having a homestand, I would imagine, people are going to be there to celebrate the 97 World Series championship this weekend. So hopefully some home cooking against a really good Milwaukee Brewers team will help. But, they needed that win yesterday. That's for sure.
yeah. Especially after, it's been a waste of a couple of good outings out there, and it looked like it was going to be another one from Sandy Alcantara. They finally gave him 3 runs of support, and then the relief pitching just didn't work out. I feel like that's been one of the main issues, right? This team really struggles to get to the ninth inning winning, and then so many games have just slipped away, especially those ones that we're coming back from. I remember one of them against the Diamondbacks, I think, here in Miami, when
Yeah.
they came back in the eighth, and then in the ninth we blew another save. How many blown saves we have already? It's been what, 31 games, but I feel like we have 3, 4, 5 blown saves already. So it's
Well, there was one on the road trip, right? When Jorge Alfaro walked
oh
off
my god, yeah,
on
that one.
Mother's Day, and you knew it. Listen, you knew that was going to happen, right?
Yes, the scenario is perfect. It's like, okay, 2 outs, winning run at the plate, and it's Jorge Alfaro. They just threw a pitch down the middle, and he hit it out, of course.
Yeah, I mean, Cole Sosa is a good pitcher, and that was a terrible pitch, and Alfaro crushed it. I mean, we all knew, like, you need to put the ball, way outside the strike
Yeah,
zone,
two
and
feet
Alfaro
away to
swung
the
at it.
outside, and he'll swing. Yes.
But I mean, that was the only blown save of this road trip, which I guess is okay. But I mean, they had obviously 5 losses in this road trip, and the bullpen didn't come up with the big outs. I'm trying to find the blown saves here real quick.
Yeah, or even tied games that we have allowed
Yeah,
other teams to go up in the ninth inning. I feel like it's happened a couple of times to Anthony Bender. We saw that one from Solser against the Padres. This team, it's hard to say it, and it's rough, and I know you have to play 9 innings, but this team should be closer to the Mets than it is to the Nationals right now. I mean, right now we are 3 games and a half ahead of the Washington Nationals. We're tied with the Phillies, 14 and 17, and I feel like they should be closer to the Mets, who are, I mean, they're one of the best teams in the baseball right now, 21 and 11.
Yeah.
And I know it's hard for Marlins fans, and it's frustrating. And it's been 3, 4, 5, 6 years of just frustrations, one after the other one. But I guess you have to look at it from the bright side. I guess I'm trying to be positive because it was a
Yeah.
bad streak. They lost. I think they won one of the last 10 before last night's win.
Yeah.
So it's been a rough moment right now for the Marlins. They're playing better baseball. That's the reality from what we saw. I mean, getting away from the record a little bit. I know it's hard because that's what really cares. That what
Yeah.
really matters. I mean, that's what we're supposed to be looking at. But other than that, I think they're being a better team so far, even though maybe wins are not quite where we wanted them.
Well, they certainly seem more competitive, right? I mean, the games
Yeah,
they're not getting blown out very often, and it's a couple things here and there which are really making the difference between them being a winning team and them, being 3 games under 500, as you say. They only have 3 blown saves at the moment. I mean, they've had some issues
yeah,
with those high leverage situations, and it's been a mix and match bullpen and on the back end of it. So Mattingly's trying to find something that works back there, and the reality is they haven't been able to nail it down, which is concerning. I mean, Dylan Floro is coming back off the IL, so he's going to get a shot
yeah.
to.
When is he coming back?
It should be. I mean, I would imagine it would be for this series. I think they had already recalled him from Jacksonville. He didn't appear against the Diamondbacks, but I would be surprised if he's not active and in at least one of these games coming up against the Brewers here over the weekend. So, he's going to get a turn back there, and if he can't do it, they have to find somebody who does, because the reality is, they've got some guys that can maybe get them to the 8th or the 9th inning,
Yeah,
but they don't have that sort of shutdown guy on the roster right now. I mean, he's tried a few others. Sulcer, I maybe give him another shot. Maybe it was just the one bad pitch against Alfaro. He does already have a save. Tanner Scott doesn't seem to have the consistency to sort of do that on the back end. Maybe you look at a guy like Cody Poteet, who's more of a long reliever, but maybe he can do it. I mean, but the fact that, we're 30 games, 31 games
yeah.
into the season, and we're talking about, who the closer is going to be. That's a problem. I wasn't among the group that thought that they needed to spend a ton of money on a closer, because, so much of that stuff is volatile, and
Yeah.
you can find closers here and there. But the reality is it seems like they should have, right? And because they don't have that lockdown piece on the back end of the bullpen. I mean, maybe they have a guy, in Jacksonville, and maybe in somebody like Max Meyer, you move him to the bullpen, see if he can do it, because he was a closer at times in college.
Right.
But again, they don't want to use Max Meyer in that way. They want him to be in the starting rotation. So, but the reality is they have to figure the back end of the bullpen out, and then the offense just needs to be more consistent. I mean, you were talking about trying to pull some positives. We saw some positives from Avisel Garcia on this road trip, right?
Yeah, he's hitting the ball better. Yeah,
he's starting to find the production that we're expecting. I think it was 7 for 23 on the road trip, so he hit 300 on the road trip. He reached base in all 6 games that he played on the road trip. He's got a 5-game hitting streak. He's finally got his batting average up over 200, which is good. But the reality is he needs to produce more. Jorge Soler needs to produce more.
Yeah.
Stallings came up with a clutch RBI hit.
He's been one of the best in the clutch moments, huh?
Right, but I mean, still, his batting average isn't what you want it to be, even though you're not
No.
expecting a ton of offensive production from somebody like him. But again, the reality is, I mean, you have an offensive star in Jazz Chisholm, but these other guys need to carry their weight as well. Jesus Aguilar has, started to get going of late, which is, obviously very, very good. But then you see like Jesus Sanchez is starting to struggle, so it's this sort of give and take. They should get Brian Anderson back from the undisclosed IL, even though it's, pretty clear that it's COVID related, so he should hopefully be back here over the weekend. Maybe he can provide something to the lineup, although he's had his consistency issues too. So, but there were positives, right? I mean, we saw another amazing outing from Pablo Lopez, who's leading the Cy Young chase here early. Obviously, very very early,
Yeah.
but
Well, 6 starts already, so.
yeah, another amazing outing from him. Sandy had a great bounce back outing. He struggled against the Padres, but he pitched really, really well yesterday. Obviously, Garcia starting to get going with the bat is something that you want to see. Jazz's home run yesterday in a clutch moment to get those insurance runs were key. So there were some positives. They need to put it all together, and they need to put it all together for an extended stretch. We can't go 6 wins and then 7 losses and then 6 wins and then 7 losses. They need to find more consistency. They need to avoid those long stretches of, losing
Yeah.
and in order to be competitive. Like, they have to win. I mean, this is a tough homestand coming up. Milwaukee, and then they've got Washington and Atlanta. Milwaukee, one of the best teams in the NL right now. But you have to win that series, and you have to hopefully sweep the Nationals, if not win the National Series, and then you have to beat the Braves 2 out of 3. So they have to come away from this homestand with at least 6 wins in order to feel better. That'll get them back to 500. So, they have to start putting it together here, or you start thinking about, maybe moving off some of these veterans and calling up some of the young guys.
Yeah, I mean, the Marlins have struggled a lot with West Coast teams this year. I feel like there are, I don't have the number right now, but I feel like there are like 2 wins and 10 losses or something
Oh yeah, it's terrible.
around
Terrible,
those
yeah.
lines. They lost to the Giants. They
Yep.
lost to the DBacks. They lost 5 out of 6. They lost to the San Diego Padres as well. 3 out of 4. They should have won at least 2 of them. It's been a rough path, and they're coming back to the East. Hopefully, they can get some more wins. You were talking, you mentioned there Max Meyer, and I was listening to your guys' show yesterday, and I thought that could be an option. I mean, you never have too many good pitchers, right?
Right.
So why not? And I know Eliezer is struggling, so I wouldn't. I mean, it wouldn't be a surprise if they send him down and bring one of those 2 guys up, either Cabrera or Max Meyer, to try to get one of those spot rotations. But why not just move both of them up and try to robust that bullpen, because they are struggling there. If they want to compete, you have to throw all you have right now to try to win some more games. That's what I'm thinking. I mean,
Yeah.
why? What are you waiting for?
I have no idea what they're waiting for. Max Meyer doesn't need to be in AAA for another second. He's supposed to pitch today. He's scheduled to pitch today against Nashville, and he's matched up against another really good minor league pitcher. Ironically, they're playing against the Brewers AAA team, and the Brewers pitcher's Ethan Small, and those 2, Small and Max Meyer, have been 2 of the best starting pitchers at the AAA level this season. I mean, we're talking about ERA, WHIP, strikeouts, all of it. They're on the top of the rankings in the International League. Meyer's got very little, if anything, to prove at the AAA level at this point. You're looking for consistency. I mean, he's working on his changeup still, but it's been solid. He's got 2 great pitches. And the reality is he's better right now, or at least he looks better. We haven't seen him against MLB, quality hitters, although he's faced, Acuna at the AAA level. He's faced Yon Moncada from the White Sox. He was on a rehab assignment when they played Charlotte last week. So he's had a few sort of MLB guys that he's faced, and he's pitched well against them. So I don't know what they're waiting for. I don't. He should be starting, and the reality is, once Cabrera has his arm built up, he should be at the major league level too. Maybe that means moving Luzardo to the bullpen. But he's got electric stuff. Maybe with the consistency issues, he could be a relief pitcher, right? This was something that Joe had mentioned yesterday on our episode. Like maybe give Luzardo a try on the back end of the bullpen. Who knows? He's a high strikeout guy. That's kind of what you need for a closer. So I honestly, I don't know why they haven't called Meyer up. I mean, Cabrera, it's obviously a health thing. They want him to build up.
Yeah, they want to take it slow. Yeah.
Yeah. So but with Meyer, there is no health concern. It's just a matter of, I mean, and it's not service time related either, because the new CBA, they got rid of the service time thing, so they can really call him up at any point. They just haven't yet. I guess they were giving Eliezer a turn. He's still listed. Hernandez is still listed as the probable starter for Sunday's game, I think.
Yeah, he's facing Woodruff on Sunday, the last game of the series, 1:40 here at Lone Depot Park. But that's the thing, that could be his last option. I mean, he didn't pitch bad against the Diamondbacks. He got hit around a lot in the first couple of innings. That he kind of settled down, and I feel like Mattingly just left him out there too long.
Yeah,
one batter too long, and that was the difference.
Literally one batter too long.
Yeah, that was the difference in that game. He already had given you, I think, more than 5 innings already. So
yeah, I think that was right at the start of the 6th, if I remember.
yeah, so and that's where Hernandez gets hit really hard anyway. But he has a 6.37 ERA right now after 6 starts. I mean, that tells you
his metrics are terrible. Like,
yeah,
he's not a good pitcher right now.
Yeah, that's the reality. And one of those starts was really great against the Phillies. So that tells you all about his other 5 stars
Right.
that had been just terrible. So maybe this is the last opportunity for Hernandez to try to stay there in the rotation, and then they can bring Mayer up. I don't know, man, but I feel like they should throw everything they have right now. Even the guys that are hitting in the minors, why not bring him up? I know it's hard because you're paying a lot of money to these guys.
Yeah,
you have to wait. Soler is hitting the ball hard, and sometimes he's right to people. So you have to be a little extra patient there. You're not gonna just wait for months. But at some point, I mean, if you're 10 games under 500, maybe it's too late already. So I don't know.
No, that's the issue right there. I mean, at the AAA level, they've got some guys who are hitting the ball really well. JJ Bleday is hitting the ball really well this month. I mean, he's raking up there, and Lewin Diaz is hitting the ball really, really well. Peyton Burdick has shown flashes, but the problem is all those guys are blocked. They're blocked by veterans at the major league level. So, they're going to have to figure something out from a roster perspective to make those call-ups, or we're just going to see,
the same guys. Well, hopefully they can get a little better. They're going to rest tonight. They're going to come back to Miami, and hopefully here they're going to do better. Thank you, David. Have a good day, and we'll see you later tonight. If you're watching the game, the Heat, remember, we're going to have the coverage starting at 5:30 p.m. tonight. Miami Heat facing the Sixers for the 6th game of the series, trying to reach the Eastern Conference Finals. Have a good night. Enjoy the game, and we will see you guys later here on the 5 Reasons YouTube channel. Bye-bye.